Guys, it is Dev here once again. Today I'm going to be taking you through another tutorial in C, and what we are going to be looking at today is if-else statements and while loops. This is what we are going to be looking at today. Okay, so first things first, let's create a new file, statements, and then use Emacs to open statements. Good, so we are now in statements. All right, so this is a fresh slate. The first one we are going to talk about is if statements. Let me start with our usual include. Let me zoom it a bit. Include, too much. Then stdio.h and int main this, that, and then this and that. Now guys, can you notice something about this particular file? Okay, so what is happening here is I forgot to give my file a name, a proper name. So that I just wrote statements, but we are trying to run a C program. So I can change the name by saying move statements to statements.c. This is how we rename, and then now the name has been changed from statements to statements.c. So if I check in the directory, I'm no longer going to have statements but statements.c. That is what we have here. So this is the old name. This is just a buffer file created by Emacs. Okay, so let me clear this, and then we Emacs into our statements file .c. Good, so this is better now. Now you see that the code in this renamed file is properly formatted. It is recognizing the type of code we are trying to run. So the first one we are going to look at is if statements. So what is the structure of the if statement? So we say if, then variable name, the variable name is equal to let's say 12. Then we close it and open our code block. We want the system to print something. What do we want it to print? Welcome to ifs. And that is all. We are done with the if statement. We close it, bring our return, and our code is good to go. So this is the basic structure of the if statement. So with the if statement, we are asking the system to look at a particular variable, and if the variable is equal to this value, then it should print this. Okay, so let's look at an example. I'm going to declare int month is equal to 3. So if month, sorry, I have to change this to month. If month is equal to 3, then I want it to print the month is March. All right, and I want this to happen on a new line. Okay, so I'm going to save this, exit, then compile it with GCC. Let's say run. This is going to be my name for the compiled file. I forgot to put my semicolon again. So guys, this happens a lot, and it is normal. We're humans and we are bound to make mistakes, and that shows that we are learning. But the important thing is that you learn from your mistakes. And so your error message is there to guide you on how to resolve your mistakes. You see that it just pointed to where my error was happening and gave me a possible solution. Why don't you put a semicolon here? Okay, then we'll see whether it will work or not. Okay, so let's run it again. I didn't check to see if there was another error, but I just hope there's no other error. So statements.c, good, and it's working. Then I run him. And guys, this is the result. The if statement is working fine. So let me just show you the if statement. So this is the if statement. I am saying that int month is equal to 3. So if month, that is the variable, is equal to 3, print the month is March. That is how you write an if statement. Okay, but what if the month, the value for the variable month is not 3? That is where the else statement comes in. So let's just edit our Emacs statements. Let's see. That way we are on the same page. All right. So I would like to change this particular code a bit. So it's no longer going to be an if statement. It's going to be if else statement. Okay. So let's see. What's our example? Zoom in. This is cool, I guess. So I'm going to declare an integer number. Okay. Let me not say number. Let me use age again because of where I want to send this. Then I ask my system to print enter your age. Put this on a new line and close it, close this and close the statement. Then I'm asking my system to scan the value of the input. I'm requesting an input from the user. So I'm doing this, closing it, and then saying, okay, age. Collect age from our user. Now, this is where the fun begins. If age is greater than or equal to 18, then execute this statement. Print you can drive. All right, you can drive, and put that on a new line. Close it with my semicolon. Then, if the age is less than, I want you to do this. So, else print you can I'm just say can't drive. Why? You are underage. And close it. Close this, bring my semicolon, and then I want this to also be printed on a new line. Now let me close my else statement, close my if statement, then I return. So guys, this is how we prepare our if else statements. Don't worry about my indentation, I'm doing that manually. So let me explain this. If I run my program, the system is going to ask the user to input the age. That is what this message is for. So when the user types in a value, it is going to scan it and save it into this. Now, it goes on to read, if the input is greater than or equal to 18, then my user is of age and can drive. So I wanted to print out, you can drive. But if the value of age is false, that is, it is less than 18, then I wanted to print out, you can't drive, you are underage. So that is what the if else statement does. The if statement will continue to execute if the input is true. But the moment the input is false, then it is going to execute the else statement. So let's save this and see how it works. Good. Now we are exiting, and then we are going to compile. Output to the file, I think I use runm and statements.c. Okay. Guys, so once again I forgot to close it. So let's quickly go back into this statements.c and then check what I didn't do right. Okay, so this one is to this if so else this sorry, this is my error. I didn't close the if and then I opened the else. It's this way. Sorry guys. Alright, so let's save it and exit. Let me clear this, then gcc runm, then statements.c, and there we have it. It has compiled successfully. So let's run it and see what it's going to say. Enter your age. So let's start with a low value, 14. Hit enter. You can't drive, you are underage. So you see that when the moment the value was less than 18, it outputted the else statement. Now let's see what it will do with the if statement. 21, you can drive. And so guys, this is how you can create an if else statement. So you can look at this and then be sure that the code and the output is the same. So what did we do? Enter your age. So it's going to scan what you enter. After you have entered it here, it will scan it and then check if the age you entered is greater than or equal to 18. It is going to print you can drive. Else, if the age you entered is less than 18, like this number I gave here, it is going to print you can't drive, and that is what we have here. So this is how we write if-else statements in C. Okay, so let's move on to the last part of this tutorial. Sorry guys, I know this is taking long for me to explain, and then coupled with the typing errors I was committing, it has stretched our video, but don't worry, it is worth it. The life of a programmer is all about debugging, knowing how to read the error message you get, understand the error message, and resolve the problem. So the more you practice, the easier it becomes. So now let's look at the last thing for today, the while loop. So I'm going to create a file called loops.c and then Emacs into loops.c. Good, we have it opened now. And then we can zoom in and quickly give our directive. We want the system to include stdio.h and then create our basic structure. So our file has a basic structure now. So what is the structure of the while loop? This is basically what the while loop looks like. So structure of while loop. So we say while, and then inside this we have the expression. We open our block, then we call the loop body, then we now close our while. Okay, so what does this mean? It means that the loop is going to evaluate this expression, this loop body you are going to create here is going to evaluate the expression in this parenthesis, and then if the expression is true, the loop is going to be executed, then evaluated again. If it is true, it is going to be executed and evaluated again. So this is going to be repeated and repeated until the expression is false. Then the loop terminates. All right. So let's look at a practical example. So if I have so now let me declare my variable. Variable, and say int e equal to 1. Then I close this. Now this is my loop. While int, sorry, I gave it a name, so I shouldn't be saying int e is let's say less than or equal to 8. What do I want the system to do? Print, then format specifier. Remember that, guys, we are in the domain of integers. So then I call my variable here and close my statement. Now when I close the statement, what am I going to do? I'm going to say ++e and close it. I'm just asking the loop to continue until it runs to false. So guys, this is how we write a while loop. Okay, so we have a declared variable, then the while loop, we are telling it while e is less than or equal to 8, we want you to print E, then plus plus E, or like some like to put it E plus plus. All right, so let's save this, and then I'm going to compile it, and we'll see what it is printing out for us. So what's name? Run loop loops.c. Good, that is done. So now I can call run loop. And guys, this is the output. So the loop started running with 1. And when it realized that 1 was less than 8, it evaluated the loop again and got 2. Realized that it was less than 8, it evaluated again and got 3, and went through the same process until it hit the value 8. Remember, in our loop we said the if good. What did we say here? If e, the variable e, is less than or equal to 8, we want it to print out e. So it started by going through 1. So we said e plus plus. It should continue until it hits the false statement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, e, the value of e now is 8. So that is where this program is going to terminate, because when it evaluates again, the next value is going to be more than 8. And that is why it ended and printed out the directory we were at. So that is how we write while loops in C, guys. So thank you. So guys, this is what we've done in a nutshell. If you have any question, please post it in the comments below, and don't forget to share the videos, share the channel, let your colleagues, your friends join, let the family grow so that we continue to learn in tandem. All right, so thank you guys, till the next tutorial. Ciao.